What's up, guys? So today we will be showcasing my Despia deck. So there's proxies in this at the moment. The cards are in the mail, so if you want I can redo this again when the cards come in. So for now this is my Despia Shadoll Dogmatika, which I think gives it the most consistent variant of it. You get the pluses from the Shadolls, you have the reactiveness of the Dogmatika, and then you have the Despia engine. So I will go through it. So we were playing triple Aluber, the Jester. Aluber, what he does is when he's normal or special, he adds one branded spell from deck to hand. If a fusion monster you control is destroyed by battle or by card effect, opponent's card effect, while this card's in the graveyard, you can special this and negate one of the effects of the monster on the field. So he recurs himself and he adds your branded spell or trap. So with that, we have Aluber. Next we have Despia Tragedy at 3. So this card is part of our engine. If this card is sent to the field, graveyard, or banished by card effect, you can add one Despia monster from deck to hand except him. You can then banish him to set any Despia spell from graveyard back. So the nice thing with him is if he's used for a fusion, or if you use him for a lure, you literally go 3. So you go +1 off of an Allure, which is very good. So yeah, we play 3 Tragedy. I don't think you play any more or any less of him. Next up, we have 2 Dramaturgy of Despia. It's level 8. If it's Fusion, Synchro, XYZ are linked, except during damage step, or if a Fusion, XYZ are linked monster is special summon except during damage, you can target one card on the field and negate its effects. If this card in your hand or field is used as a fusion and sent to the grave, you can special summon it back. So this is one of the key cards you want to use when you're fusing, because it'll just return right back to you. It's an 8, which is part of our finisher in this deck, which you'll see after. It's really good. I only play 2 because you really all you needed at 2. You don't want to see any more, any less. I play 2 Fallen of Albaz, our good little dragon boy. I only play 2 because he acts as a super poly. When he's normal or special, you can discard a card for cost and fusion summon one monster from your extra deck using monsters on your opponent's field. So he's a super poly. But because he isn't super poly really, because you can react to him, so you can negate it, I only play 2. You don't really want to be using your whole hand a lot because you already use it for fusion in this deck. I have ways to get to him, so I only like him at 2. You could maybe play him 3 with the more support we get in the Burst of Destiny, but for now I play him at 2. Now we'll get into the Dogmatika package. I play 3 Ecclesia. She searches. Basically, if a monster is special from the extra deck, you can special her, and then she will add you a Dogmatika card. So she's part of the engine. Basically, you open her, you can have her on board. She's just really good. She's just part of the Dogmatika engine that sets up free cards. So then I play 2 Fleur-de-Lis. Basically, the big hitter of the Dogmatika engine. You add it off Ecclesia to special it, and if you have Ecclesia on board when this comes out, you can negate an effect. So once again, adding to the whole negation of cards with like Dramaturgia and others, and it can become a big beat stick. So I only play 2 because you have 3 Ecclesia, so 2, and then I play the 1 Maximus. So yeah, each Ecclesia can add me a card. I have Maximus because if I have Maximus and I Nadir Servant, I could Maximus send more to get more value. Rip 2 cards from their extra deck, and it's also an 8 with Fleur-de-Lis, which will go towards part of our end board. So that's the Dogmatika engine, just 6 cards. Next we have Shadoll. I play 3 Beast, 2 Wendy, 1 Aerial. I like 3 Beast over 3 Wendy because Beast is a... it'll draw you cards. Wendy will just set it. So I like the value of Beast. Like, using like branded opening, sending Beast to draw 1, sets up your schisms. Where if you just, like, I'm sure you could ditch Wendy, special the Beast, and then fuse with it to get the +1. So 3 and 2, or 3 Wendy, 2 Beast is good. Then you have the 1 Aerial for your graveyard matchups where you need to banish stuff from your opponent's graveyard. Aerial's really good for that. And now we'll get into the spell lineup. I'll move this. Oh no, and then I play 2 Protector Spirit Logiath. So what this card does, if a card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target 1 monster on the field, and it can't be destroyed by a card of battle this turn. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn. If a fairy effect is activated, you can special summon a card from hand. Then you can target 1 card your opponent controls face up and 1 attack position monster you control, and banish your opponent's card and change the position of yours. So what's nice about her is Dramaturgy as a fairy, Tragedy is a fairy, and Aluber is a fairy. So, for example, you have her in hand. You can go... Say your opponent went first, right? You can go normal Jester, activate Jester's effect, add a card. You can fusion summon... yeah, so you have Aliburst, then you can use this... Damage? Oh, it is. Didn't even know. You can use this. Banish your opponent's monster. And it's 3, and you already have 2 fairies. And then you added Branded Opening. Or your Theater. And you can just start going off. And she's like, unfortunately she's a 7, which doesn't see as great a value in this as an 8. But she's a negate, she's a disruption, a card can't be destroyed. Yeah, so she's just a free extender. And she's a fairy, which will come up in this deck. So now let's get on to the spells. I play 3 Despia Theater. I thought about playing 2 in a Terraforming. This card isn't great at multiples. You really only need to see 1 and have it stick. So basically during your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 level 8 or higher fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. So it's why this deck's the fusion deck. Any resource is really good. And then in the other effect, if a face-up fusion fairy monster is destroyed by battle by card effect, you can target 1 level 8 or higher fusion monster in your grave and special summon it. So, later on, like, you can bring back your big fusion guys when something gets destroyed by your opponent. This is searchable off of Aluber, off your Jester. So, that's why 3 is fine. I thought maybe cutting it to 2. We'll see. 3 Branded Opening. Card is basically one of the best cards we have. You discard a card, then take 1 Despia monster from your deck and either add it to hand or special summon it. And then it locks you into fusions. But then this also has a protection effect. You can banish it to stop one of your guys from being destroyed. So basically with this, you can send Tragedy, you can send Wendy, you can send Beast. You can send all of it because it's not cost. So you get pluses off this. So like you can go send Beast, add your Tragedy or you can add anything really what you need for your combo. And from there you can just plus and refill your hand, which then you have Tragedy and then if you use Tragedy you can just reset this for later. The card's too good not to run at 3. It's 3 or none, but you're always going to run 3. Right now I'm playing 1 Branded in white. I really don't like this card. The support from Burst is just way better. Like Branded in red, so much better. So what this does is you fusion summon 1 monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material, including a dragon. So you have to use Fallen of Albaz. You can banish this from your grave. You can also banish like cards from your grave for this. And then if this card was discarded for the cost of Fallen of Albaz, you can reset this. So for now I'm playing 1. I will end up cutting this. It's not that great. It's just a free fusion spell if I don't have the field spell. I play 3 Nadir Servant. Card's so good. It gets you to either your Fallen of Albaz if you need it. Like end turn, if you know you need a Fallen of Albaz or you don't have an Ecclesia, you can play this. It also gets you to Shadoll plays. Like you can send App Cologne, or you can send any of your fusions to give you a plus, or you can even send Entis, which I should be playing in here, but I'm still messing around with space. To get you the add off this, then the add off whatever you send. So like if you know what you're against, you can send the App Clone, get Schism, and lock them into fusions, or lock them in on their special. Nadir Servant's just so good. You need to play it. Maybe you can go 3 to 2. I think 3's optimal. 3's just really good. 3 Allure, why not? Most of your deck's dark. Especially like this plus Tragedy is a +1. So why wouldn't you Allure? Especially because you can search the Tragedy as well. Card's good. Yeah. I play 1 Shadoll Fusion and 2 Schism. Basically, if I have to go second, my opponent already has a board, I can Shadoll Fusion. I don't really want to play more of it. I really don't like playing the 1. I really just like the Schism. You could cut this and just play Schisms. And literally put in like anything else you wanted. Like you can put in a Monster Reborn. You can put in a Foolish. It all is fine. But 2 Schism, because you can send App Cologne off Servant. And then you can just set up your window play. And it's a piece of removal. So yeah, that is the main deck. It is 40 cards. I don't play hand traps. You probably can. You can, like I said, you could cut the Logath. You can reduce. You can cut Logath. You can cut a Theater plus Branded in red. There's a few things you can cut to be able to fit in hand traps if you would like. But your whole deck is so much negates and so much just combo that you really don't need to. So let's get to the extra deck. I play 2 Despian Queritus. So it's a Despia monster and a light and dark. During the main phase quick effect, you can change all attack monsters on the field to 0 and accept level 8 or higher fusion monsters. If this face-up card leaves the field, you can add or special summon 1 Fallen of Albaz or Despia from your deck. So this thing is insane. Like, this is your main fusion you want to make. I'm thinking about playing 3. I like 2. Because you're always going to make this turn 1. And the nice thing, so like, say you go first, right? And you just make a Queritus with like Dramaturge and your Jester. So your board's this. So you can go, if they go to do anything, you can go negate their board, effect negate something, they'll wipe it. If they kill your Queritus, you're going to get, you will get the Jester, you can get anything like a Despia, or you can get your Albaz, which is then a quick super poly, but you're also going to special your Jester from the grave, which will then add a spell. So like, it's just so much value of Queritus. You need to play it. I play 2 Titanclad. It's the main fusion you want to go into with Albaz. He's just the big beat stick. They all have the effect that they can't be destroyed. I forget by what. But then if this card goes to the grave at the end phase, you can add a Fallen of Albaz or a Dogmatika. So it's the main thing is, like, the reason I play 2 is you can send it off Nadir Servant to add a Dogmatika if you don't have it. Like, you can send both. You can get the Fallen of Albaz, or you you can get like a Ecclesia off the Nadir Servant, get Fleur de Lis off this, So now when you special summon the Ecclesia, you can get the Maximus for your turn. And it's just so good. See, I play 2. Make 1, and then usually send 1. I play 1 Bygrand and 1 Albion. It's just the other Fallen of Albaz. I don't play Sprint. You can. I don't find him that great. Because he's going to add you a Fallen of Albaz or Tri-Brigade. Oh, no, he's not. He's Spriggan. My bad. Yeah. Bygrand is just... So, Titanclad is a monster with 2,500 or more attack. Easy to fuse with. Bygrand is a level 8 or higher. Kind of harder if they're like going into other pieces. He will add you a Tri-Brigade or Fallen of Albaz, but we don't really play it. Albion is a light monster. If he's fusioned, you can special 1 from the extract, so you can special a Titanclad or your Bygrand, which gets you 2 8s, and he gets you a branded spell, so he's kind of worth you can play it too, especially with the upcoming support. But you usually just need to play a small package for the Fallen of Albaz. I play 1 the first Dark Lord because he only needs fairies, 3 fairies. So we have, for fairies in this, we have Dramaturgia, Tragedy, Aluber, and we play Logath. So we play 4 fairies that all will do something for us, if need be. And he's really hard for people to deal with. You can't target fairy monsters while you control this card. Your opponent can target fairy monsters, so you can't target him. And then he has pay 1,000, special summon 1 fairy from your hand or grave. So say you're fusing, you use Jester, Dramaturgia, Tragedy. Your Dramaturgia is going to come back. You're going to get a plus off Tragedy. And then you already got the effect off your Jester. You can get back your Tragedy. So now you have 1, 2, 3. You have 3 monsters. Which is just so good off him alone. And he's a 4K beatstick. So now they have to get rid of 3 monsters. If they get rid of... And then if you have anything else, you can keep going. So yeah, he's just a really good target. 4K beatstick, can't target, can bring back stuff. 2 super poly targets for Albaz if you don't want to go into his guys. You have your Dragostopelia and your Starving Venom. Now, right now I'm debating on the Dark Law package. I'm debating about taking out one of these for a Dark Law. So I could probably take out like the Dragostopelia and I can put in the Dark Law package. Once again, Mask Change can discard something to go good. And this in if you set up like Queritus, Dark Law, it's really going to be hard for them to do anything because they'll never be over the Dark Law. It's just really good. And if they kill Dark Law, it's going to trigger your field spell. So yeah, I'm really debating this. I just got to find the room to put in a Dark Law, but he's the one of these. One of these will be removed for a Dark Law. I think Dark Law is just so good. I think if you Dark Law Dytron, they just lose. You Dark Law Tri-Brigade, they're going to be in a bad spot. Most decks you Dark Law them, they're just going to be a really bad spot. Then for the Shadoll package, we play 2 Winda and an App Clone. Send it. You can send App Clone off Nadir Servant to get the Schism, or the Fusion if you need it, and then you have your double Winda to try and lock them out. Why wouldn't you? And then this can also just get it back at the end. So yeah, if you send this off Nadir Servant, get the Schism, you Schism make Winda. If they out the Winda, or in your turn you need to get rid of the Winda, you can fuse it away, add back the Schism. So then on your turn, when you pass it, you have Schism with Winda to make another Winda. So it's why I say you play 1-2, 2-1. It's just the best value I think you get out of it. And then your endgame package. You play number 97 Draglubion, which what he does, he is 2 8s. You can detach one, then special summon 2 number monsters, and overlay one on top of the other. So you go into Hope Harbinger, and because maybe you don't even need to go into Draglubion, you can still make the Harbinger for a negate. depending what you're against, and you go into Numeron Dragon. What Numeron Dragon does is you can detach one, and he gets attack equal to the number of ranks on the board. So you have right now 9. And he gets 1,000 for each. So he becomes a 9k beater, and that's the only thing that can attack. So the neat little play with this, you can also destroy like a spell or trap on the field. So the neat combo with this is, when you go into Draglubion, you use Queritus to put their attack to 0, and then you make this detach. You beat over their guy for 9k and win. So it's why this is the 8 package, and we play so many 8s. Like, Queritus is an 8. All your other guys are an 8. So, like, even if we don't have anything, we can go Albion, bring out one of the other 8s, and right here is our Draglubion play. So it's really simple to get into. Plus we have Dramaturgia, who is a 8 that constantly comes back. So like, you can go make Queritus, and then this will come out, and if we have another 8, we just can, like, you can go make Queritus, get this back. Queritus, nuke their board to 0, make Draglubion, kill them. So it's why Dramaturgia is just so good. And that is the deck list. Now, we do have more support coming out in Burst, where we get a new new fusion, a spell. We get a few traps. Like we get the fusion, which is Masquerade, the Crimson Gleam Dragon, who on an effect he can burn. So a lot of decks like making 3 of him and just burn your opponent for every time they use an effect. He's really good. We get Branded in Red, which is insane for a spell. It adds 1 Despia, and you can fuse after it. And it's quick play, so it's insane. Like, Brandon, like, you play it over Brandon White. We get a 2nd level 8 monster. It's called Ib. I forget the rest of it. But what he does is when he's sent to the grave for a fusion, you can special summon another Despia back. So, like, if your Dramaturgia is already in the grave, you can use him. Or, like, say you have a Dramaturgia in grave, and you have him and you fuse him and Dramaturgia into something, you get both of them back. You have 2 Dramaturgias back, which is just full play anyways from there. The rest of the stuff isn't as good, like the other spell in the trap. But yeah, I really think this deck is very competitive. If you guys would like to see a playtest hand video, hit the like and message me in comments. Yeah, I actually really like this. I like the deck. I like the theme of it, the lore. So yeah, if you want to see more, hit like and comment, and let me know. See you guys.